Sutton and I just walked in the door from going to Costco. We actually never go there, but today we did. We were on the hunt for something specific that of course I didn't have, but we walked out spending $240 on stuff we didn't go there for in the first place. But that's fine because a lot of it is snacks that we would buy not in bulk, so hopefully we're saving money in the long run. But our snack cabinet is currently very full and unorganized, so I want to quickly kind of go through it so I can get stuff put away. Let's spend the day together being productive. If you're feeling tired, unmotivated, so am I, but we're gonna get things done anyway. We obviously started our day going to Costco. Again, it's not somewhere we shop often. We just don't have the storage in this house to really buy in bulk. But I do enjoy a good Costco trip, and especially as we get closer to the holidays, they have some good stuff. So my goals for this day were to run to the store, which we did, then get everything put away and somewhat organized. I wanted to also get a workout in, or at least a walk. My oldest son's room needed to be cleaned and laundry put away. I wanted to get my room picked up and the living room. We've just got a lot to do, and I had a pretty short window to get it all done. Sutton ended up going to my mom's for a while on this day, so I did have some time to myself, which was nice and helpful. But overall, a very busy day as a mom of 2 kids, trying to get my house reset and remember to also take care of me too along the way. This is why I don't normally bulk shop, because now I have all this packaging that still has stuff in it that I don't have room for in the pantry cabinet. So what am I supposed to do with all these? Like, I don't know where to put them. I mean, I obviously could squeeze some more stuff in here, but I don't want it to be so overwhelming when the kids are looking for snacks. So I was also so sad because they had pumpkin spice bagels instead of the French toast bagels that I normally get at Costco. So I had to get like the sesame ones and plain ones when I normally would get the French toast. I am a pumpkin spice hater to my core. I really do not like anything pumpkin. This cabinet's the only one I can think of that might have a little bit of free space. So I think we're gonna try to organize this with the bulk stuff. These expired in November of 2023. They've never even been opened. All right, let's declutter this cabinet and also talk about life a little bit. You guys, I won't lie, I'm absolutely bursting at the seams with news to tell you, but it's going to be a bit before I can officially share. Life has really kept us on our toes this past year. Every time we think we've got things figured out, something either throws a wrench in our plans, or we change our minds, or just something happens. But I think at the end of the day, things are going to happen the way they're meant to happen. As much as you think you have your life planned out, things change. So I'd love to hear your guesses in the comments about what may be going on, what our big news is. As soon as I have the green light to share, I will, and I'm eagerly waiting for that day, but we are certainly busy right now. We've got some big changes coming, but I think for the first time this year in 2025, I can say that I feel things are making sense and shifting into place how they were probably always meant to be after a very tumultuous time for us. So if you're also in a season of uncertainty, change, maybe you're feeling apprehensive about the future or feeling like you're just walking straight into a bunch of closed doors all the time, I want to encourage you to keep trying, keep going, and things kind of always have a way of working out, even if maybe it's not what you thought or it's not happening on the timeline that you hoped it might. And finally, as we enter this very hectic time of year, I also encourage you to continue to remember yourself and take care of yourself. It can be so easy to get lost in the busyness and forget about you, but as someone who tends to slip into seasonal depression when the cold weather starts hitting, I found a couple of things that help keep those feelings at bay. One of those being physical fitness. I love a good walk. I'm not super into lifting, although I wish I was, and it's one of my goals to be more consistent with that. So let's get some activity in today and talk about today's sponsor. This past summer, I was going for walks at least twice a day. I hit my 10,000 steps every single day for 50 days straight, and then guess what happened? The cold weather hit. Let's be real, walking on a treadmill is incredibly boring. It's the same old scenery, the same old routine in your dingy, dark basement or garage, but those days are over now that I have my Victory treadmill from Averon, so let's go check it out. You guys are gonna love this. The Victory treadmill ends boring workouts by including gameplay in your workout. So instead of just staring at your same 4 walls walls, feeling like a minute is lasting an hour, you are immersed and engaged in gameplay. Fitness is no longer boring, it is now fun. This is the standard metrics monitor if you just want to go for a walk, but if you'd like to have some fun, here we have all the options. Okay, so do you want a scenic ride? Bam, scenic rides. Or maybe you're in the mood for a coached class. They have coached classes. You're looking to stream something. They have TikTok, they have Kindle, they have Netflix, Disney Plus, everything you could need, YouTube of course. Or my favorite option, the games. They have all these options here. Right now I'm really into Snow Tomorrow, so we're gonna try that one out together. Okay, so the goal of this game is to increase your speed and your incline, and then you will have more powerful snowballs to throw. Time goes by so fast you kind of forget that you're working out, which is the best part because treadmill minutes are longer than normal minutes. I think everybody knows that. I'm also incredibly out of breath already. I think a sweatshirt was a bad choice for this. A couple other things I wanted to mention is that one, there is a whole community that you can meet through your Averon treadmill. Also, you can add friends and you can race against your friends. You can climb the leaderboards. And I still need to set this up, but you can actually link your Apple Watch to it as well. So if you'd like to try the Averon Victory treadmill, I actually have a code, Catherine50, and that will save you $50 off of all their products. So I'll have that link in my description box. Thank you so much to Averon for sponsoring today's video. I'm really trying to make an effort to keep the rooms in this house clean while we are going through such a busy time to just make my life a little bit easier. Making a habit to spend 5 to 10 minutes in each room of your house every day tidying up can make the world of a difference. I don't do that, to be honest, in my oldest son's room because typically cleaning it is his responsibility. I'm raising a future husband, so I really try to instill in him that it's important he equally maintains his space. But at the end of the day, he's just a kid. I don't expect perfection from him, and I try to respect his space and the way he wants things in his own room as much as possible. But again, with everything we're currently going through, it's important that his room is maintained. So my goal was to totally reset the room, get all the laundry put away, get the surfaces cleaned off, and get his room to a point where it's an easy 5 to 10 minutes per day to quickly tidy up. I want to be able to just make beds, put away laundry, put away a couple of things that are out of place, and call each room done on a day-to-day basis while my robot goes around and cleans the floors for me. We just have some habits we need to work on as a family in order to get there. Putting things down instead of putting them away is the big one for sure. I don't talk about my kids in a very personal sense very often. I used to share more about them, but the internet has really changed, and with AI becoming more and more of a thing, it is my responsibility as a parent to protect them and their privacy as much as possible. And it totally stinks, to be honest, because I think my boys are so cute and I'd love to share them more, but I just can't. Sutton is obviously in my videos sometimes because I do work from home and he is home most of the time. Carson is in school 5 days a week, so he's not in them often. I can't totally avoid showing them all together is the point that I'm trying to make. I'm not going to blur them out if they run into a frame, but my videos will never be centered around them. I feel like I'm constantly having to adjust the way that I approach this as times change. But my point in all of this is that I did want to share how proud I am of Carson and just like a little update on what he's up to these days as I'm cleaning his room. When I started my channel, I think he was like 1 year old, and the two of us have really been through a lot together. I had him when I was 24, and I feel like a totally different person now than I was then. And I love that he's been there with me through all of it, and we've just lived a lot of life, the two of us. He's now 8.5 and in 3rd grade. He's so handsome, it's crazy. He loves sports and collecting sports cards. He's insanely smart, especially when it comes to numbers and math, and I just want to make it clear he definitely did not get that from me. He plays flag football and he is a great quarterback. It's just the coolest thing to watch him play and how much of a natural he is. He fights with his brother from time to time, but he's such a good big brother. He's an animal lover. He loves to play Mario with his dad. Just so many good things, and I love the person that he's growing up to be. While we're in here cleaning my son's room, I would love to hear what you're all getting your kids for the holidays this season. I'm kind of stumped, honestly, when it comes to my oldest. I feel like every year it gets harder. The things that he wants become smaller, but the price somehow gets bigger. It's crazy. So I'm just having a hard time. I've come up with a couple of little ideas, but I would love to hear if you have a boy around the same age as him, what is that one gift that your kid really wants this year? What are they asking for? Because I need all the ideas that I can get. I'm really planning to try and keep Christmas a little bit smaller this year for us, because if I keep having these big Christmases every single year, the expectations will just get higher and higher, and then at some point I feel like my kids are going to be disappointed when I can't meet those expectations. So I think I am better off nipping that in the bud right now before it gets totally out of control and again my kids end up disappointed at some point.
It's the same old story being told inside my head. I'm too shy to straighten up my bones and be a man. I gotta tear this wall apart to let you in.
I wanted to go ahead and vacuum Carson's room, but I noticed that the vacuum head was full of my hair. I have been losing so much hair ever since having my miscarriage in early July. The postpartum hair loss has not slowed down at all. I'm just losing so much hair, so this poor vacuum had taken a beating.
Tear my world apart, 'cause I know I need a start.
The area rug in Carson's room is very thin, so every single time I go to vacuum this, for whatever reason, it like jams up my vacuum, so I can have kind of a hard time getting this rug cleaned, and I don't really understand why it does that. Like maybe I need a rug pad or something under it and that would help, but it's very strange.
I'd be stronger if you just step right in, 'cause I need a start to let you in. Days pass and I'm still the same.
I blurred this out because you don't need to see it, but one of my cats decided to throw up on my bedroom floor. We love that for me. At least it wasn't on my bed or underneath it this time. But let's talk about keeping our bedrooms clean. This is a room that I let fall behind because I'd rather deal with other spaces in my home first, but I've learned that the state of my bedroom has a big impact on how I feel. When my space is messy with clothes on the floor and an unmade bed and piles that keep getting ignored, I notice that my mood starts to dip. It's like the clutter in the room slowly becomes clutter in my mind. The bedroom should feel like a place to rest, a little sanctuary away from the noise of the day, but as a mom, it's often the space that gets neglected first. We take care of everyone else's needs, and by the time we get to our own room, we're too tired to deal with it. But we deserve to feel peace in our bedrooms and look at it as a form of self-care and not just like another chore on my list.
Right in, 'cause I need
I've been really into doing embroidery at night. This is the first one I did. It's actually in Carson's room. He wants me to frame it and hang it on his wall. But I finished this one last night. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it, but I learned a couple new stitches. I'm like a super beginner. I need to get better about making sure that the lines are covered so you can't see them coming through, but this is like my new favorite nighttime hobby. I actually went into this though wanting to do needlepoint, but the needlepoint store that I went to visit was closed for like a convention or something like that. So I just settled and got an embroidery kit, and now that's kind of become my thing, but I still want to learn needlepoint. And this is my next embroidery project. I think this one's going to be really complicated. I'm kind of scared.
Didn't think I'd climb so high. Never thought I'd have it all. Floating somewhere in the sky. And I don't think I'll ever fall. Hold on, don't let go of me.
I sprayed sprayed like 2 little sprays of this Fresh Sheets room spray from Bath and Body Works, and now I can't stop sneezing and my nose is so stuffy. This stuff kills me every single time I try to use it, so I probably should just get rid of it and get something else a little bit less harsh, but it does smell really good. It just gets me all congested. Also, it still looks messy in here, like over here by my nightstand, but I want to keep my hobbies close, and I'm also charging my headphones. Whenever we get our new master bedroom, I am planning to get us all new furniture. We're gonna sell what we have, and I really want to get like 3 drawer, almost like dressers for nightstands, so that we have more storage beside our sides of the bed. That way my side of the bed won't always look like a cluttered mess, because I like to keep my hobbies close for when it's time for me to do them. So when I want to do my embroidery at the end of the night, I want it to be right there, and I just don't have the room in those little tiny drawers in that nightstand to store it, so it's just gonna look messy, and it is what it is. I talked earlier about wanting to maintain our rooms right now, being able to spend 5 to 10 minutes per day in each room to just keep them tidy. And the state of this living room certainly does not reflect that goal, but let's talk about this mess from a perspective where we totally disregard what I was saying earlier and we just talk about it mom to mom. I tend to let the toys sit out for days at a time before cleaning them sometimes, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but when you look at a mess on the floor of toys, maybe get down low at your kids' level and take a second look. To them, it's a story, a scene, a block tower they worked really hard on. I don't like to take things apart on my kids right away, even if I personally have a strong desire to see a clean and tidy space. And some days it feels like all I do is clean the same spaces over and over again. The same toys get scattered across the floor and the same dishes pile up in the sink, and somehow the laundry basket is never actually empty. And it's easy to feel like I'm stuck on repeat, like my days blur together in this loop of just tidying, cooking, and doing it all again tomorrow. And if you're feeling that way too, I hope you find this helpful. I've been trying to just shift the way that I see it. These little ordinary moments, wiping the counters, folding tiny clothes, sweeping up crumbs, picking up blocks, they're just a season, and one that goes by very, very quickly. I cannot believe that I have an 8.5-year-old and an almost 4-year-old. Like, you know when you're in the newborn phase and you think you'll never get a full night's sleep again, but then you do. And before you know it, it's rare that your kids wake up at all. It goes by so fast, even if in the moment it doesn't seem like it, and you find yourself missing those middle of the night wake ups with your newborn baby. So all that to say, even when it feels repetitive, I try to remind myself, these are the days I'm going to look back on. The noise and the mess and the never ending chores, they're all part of this just like fleeting and beautiful chapter of motherhood. So while in this busy time, I have to make sure we're maintaining messes like this one a little bit better, I am confident that I will be relaxed about this again when things calm down, because at the end of the day, I truly do love the toys scattered all over my living room.
And the truth is unfolding. I'll be there till I'm gone. Funny when I'm looking back, every single photograph never fails to make me smile.
I had a subscriber recommend putting a cotton ball with a couple of drops of essential oil inside of like the vacuum canister when it's running to just help it smell a little bit better, and I'm happy to report that this did work really well. I was noticing that every single time I picked up this cordless vacuum, it was stinky from the filter, so this was definitely helpful. But in the spirit of trying to keep things clean and tidy, we're going to do a couple of things that I don't normally do. So one is just wiping down the trash can, and the other one is wiping down the vent. It was looking really dusty, and I do think this probably needs to be touched up and repainted a little bit, but this helped just make it look a little bit better.
Only you can lift me up. And the truth is unfolding. I'll be there till I'm gone.
And now we're moving on to cleaning and tidying in the kitchen. Typically, this is the area that I start with, so it's interesting that this is actually where we're going to end off today. This is the last room that we're going to clean. Usually, when I'm having trouble getting moving, I will clean my kitchen first, and it really helps me to get the ball rolling because it tends to make just the biggest impact in your home. But on this day, we're going to end it in here, so I'm just going to get the few things kind of cluttering up the countertops off of the countertops. I went through some of my son's schoolwork he'd brought home. I had a couple of packages to open. One of them was just my cat's food, and the other one was a Christmas sweater for one of my boys. And then we'll work on getting all of the dishes done and getting all of the surfaces wiped down in here.
I'll be there till I'm gone. I don't need anybody. Only you can
last night. I did run that last night.
I'll be there.
You guys don't even know how often I go to turn on my sink to start washing my dishes, only to realize that my dishwasher is full of clean dishes. So in order for me to do those dirty dishes, I have to empty the dishwasher first. And it just makes this task so annoying and just feel way harder than it has to be. And I don't know why I tend to forget that I ran the dishwasher. I do this all the time. Like I was saying earlier, my son is so insanely smart. He's in the 3rd grade, and when I go through his paperwork from school, I cannot help but smile because he just does so well. His handwriting is so good. He's always getting like hundreds or 90 to 100s on every single thing that he does, and he just truly amazes me. So I was just going through some of his schoolwork. We're gonna wipe down surfaces, and then we're finally going to get these dishes done now that we got some of the other stuff out of the way. I feel like I'm going into the weekend with my house pretty clean, which is such a good feeling. And we also have Carson's Halloween party at school tonight, so it just feels good to be fully caught up. Like pretty much every room in my house right now is clean, or at least tidied. That feels really good. I'm excited about that. And it's also not even 2 o'clock yet, so I think I have some time to sit down and do some reading or do something for myself now that my house is tidied up. So I think I'm gonna do that for my last hour before I have to go pick up both of my children. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video and it gave you a little bit of motivation or just someone to hang out with today. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. But that's it for me. I'm gonna go spend some time doing something for me, and I encourage you to do the same today. I'll see you in my next video.